Hello, dumplings. Welcome to Let's Get Ugly, the podcast where we dive deep into the latest beauty, wellness, and lifestyle secrets that aren't always pretty, but always real.
We're your co-hosts, Trishna and Disha.
The sister duo keeping it 100% authentic, really silly, and sassy all at the same time.
We're definitely silly and super sassy, so come join us and grab your favorite drink, and welcome to this episode of Let's Get Ugly.
Lauren, welcome to Let's Get Ugly.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We are too, because not only have you seen fashion from so many angles, but we can't wait to talk to you about how your worlds have come together today.
No, it's been a journey. I feel quite old, actually.
Well, you don't look it, so that's fine. But styling is such an important skill in 2025. While it can look kind of simple on the surface, there's so much thinking behind it. And we really want to talk about your approach when it comes to fashion in a way that actually makes sense for people. And let's start right from the beginning.
Yes, let's start from the start of your career, which was buying before you moved into styling. How has that shaped the way that you see clothes and, how people wear them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was in buying for about 10 years and I loved it, mainly for the high street. We have a great high street here and I feel like we're really lucky to have the brands we have. And I've worked with a lot of them and I'm a high street girl through and through. So I was in my element, I absolutely loved it. And I feel like a buyer is such a well-rounded job and people probably don't really understand what a buyer role is. I think a lot of my friends and family think I just shop for a living then and now. That's all I do. But actually, you're kind of setting the tone and creating a wardrobe before it even exists. So you would work with your design team and you'd look at the trends, you'd look at what's coming on catwalks, you take inspiration, and part of that is really trend forecasting for the seasons ahead and what you're going to be buying, which is the part of the job that I absolutely loved and something that I think is my strength, that I can identify what's going to be key for the season, what we need to hone into, and probably what's a micro trend. And then you'd create a range ultimately that had to sell, and that was the idea of being a buyer, getting the best range together, negotiating your prices, understanding what materials you're going to be using, the cost of the products, what you're going to retail them for, what people want. And I think that's something I've been able to translate into styling, is really understanding who my customer is, what the event is, what the situation is that I'm dressing for, make sure it translates well. So yeah, I feel like the buying skills are so transferable and you kind of see all aspects of getting that product from start to finish. So yeah, I've absolutely loved it. I mean, best 10 years. I got to travel everywhere. I went to Tokyo, New York, LA, getting inspiration, street style, and opportunities that I probably would never have had unless it was for buying. So very grateful I started there.
Well, what would be, I think, interesting to know is what does a buyer actually do? So your role in-house was buying for retail brands.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Could you talk us through what you did?
Yeah, of course. So if you start at the beginning, when the runways happen, that's obviously the first bit of inspiration buyers and designers get to create a range for the high street. And obviously inspiration has to come from everywhere, like it does with the big fashion houses, but it's trickled down to the high street from those runway shows. So we would essentially look at all the runways, identify what we think are going to be the key trends. We'd go away, work on a collection that was suitable to our market, to our customer, and create ultimately a range that we would put forward to sell for a certain period of time. We would go to China or India, wherever the factories were, sometimes Europe. We'd work really closely with the factories and just an amazing experience. I mean, like I said, you understand the cost of materials, the components you're using, what it makes to get a product to final stage. And there's a lot that goes into it. It's sometimes like up to 12 weeks to get concept to ready to sell. So that's ultimately what you have to do, build a range that the CEOs, the directors are happy with, that they're making money, it's going to be profitable, it's coherent, it works against the brand's ethos, what our customers want. And you're also looking at sales, you're trying to be reactive. If there's a micro trend that just comes through on social media, you want to be able to react to it and either have something hopefully in your range that does that job, or bring something to the table that can sell. So ultimately that is the job of a buyer, and you do wear a lot of hats. There's a lot of negotiations going on. But I feel like you have a lot of different aspects in terms of when it comes to styling, for instance. When you are creating a product, you envision how it's going to look on e-commerce, how it might look in the campaign, how you think it should be worn. And I think that's a really important point. So that has given me so many skills into styling, to be honest, because you have a vision of what the product should be. And when you get to see people wearing that, there's no better feeling. And again, it's the same with styling. When you put someone in that outfit and you know they're confident and feel good in what they're wearing, it's the same feeling that buying used to give me. So great career, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I mean, obviously because you have that experience as a buyer and have been looking at these trends for so long, when you do this from a styling perspective now and you go into a showroom, what's the first thing your eye goes to? Because I feel like fashion weeks are important, yes, but there's so much other stuff going on that we have to pay attention to as well. Of course.
I think with showrooms, a little bit of a magpie. My thing is really like silhouettes and shapes. I love structure. Tailoring is something I just personally love. So I feel like when I go into a showroom, I'm looking for the shapes and what's new and what feels fresh. If it's colour, sometimes I'm quite a neutral girl or monochromatic, so I love to put outfits together that are head to toe in one look. I think it looks really chic and timeless, but you can't beat going into a showroom and seeing what the designer has and the top pieces that you think probably aren't going to be worn by everyone, but that's what draws the attention. So big fur coats or textures and, I don't know, sparkle, whatever they've got going on for that season. So yeah, it gets me excited to look at the showrooms because I feel like that's the best of the best for their collections, obviously to try and get new buyers and new retailers stock their product.
What about like trend inspiration today? Because I feel like we live chronically online. There's constant, well, like you said, you're constantly being bombarded with new things, newness. And something we mentioned earlier off camera was that people just don't even know how to shop their wardrobe anymore. But where do you go for inspiration? How do you like keep yourself fresh outside runways? Because they don't happen that often.
No, of course. And I think a lot of people, it is aspirational and sometimes not relatable. I mean, obviously they're putting runways together, and some of those outfit combinations you're probably not going to go and wear to work, but it's to give you the inspiration. So for me, I love street style. That's something that's always been a focus, and I really get a lot of inspiration from street style, going to different cities and seeing how people dress. I could people watch all day and take so much inspiration from that. But even with online, Pinterest, I still absolutely love Pinterest. I still love magazines. I still go through and tear out what I like and go through archive magazines that I have. And I think that's really important, looking at different years and referring back to different seasons. So there's inspiration everywhere, honestly. Like with social media, I guess it's hard sometimes to feel like, are you just all following the same trends? And how do we think outside the box? When it comes to working with clients and everyday clients, I would always say, just save images and send them to me and let me know what you like. And you'll get a good feel of the sort of style you like. For every job I do, I create mood boards. It's just a part of the process that I really enjoy. Put my music on and get together what I think the vibe will be and how it should look. So whether that's for a photo shoot or for clients, mood boarding for me is like key part of the process.
Yeah. Mood boarding sounds so fun.
It does sound so
physical
fun.
or digitally. Like, you know, you can rip things out, put it on, stick it down. It's just, I think it's a good way to get creative.
I mean, a thing that we were talking about, like obviously in terms of styling, was that because there's so much inspiration and then you get confused and you look at your wardrobe and then you often think, I don't know what to wear. Yeah. We do that a lot where we don't know what to wear.
Yeah.
It's like the story of our lives.
Yeah.
But what would you advise someone to do in a situation like that? Like how would you kind of help them curate that a bit more?
I think, honestly, when you go into someone's wardrobe, it's looking at what are they wearing versus what they own. And we're all guilty of wearing a very small percentage. I think it's like 20% of our wardrobe that we actually wear, which is crazy, right? Like we're constantly all buying new clothes. And I think the biggest thing is for people to understand what they like and what works for not just their body shape, but their lifestyle. Like, where are you going in this? Yeah, you might have seen it on Instagram, but where are you wearing this piece? Like, and can you wear it in multiple ways? I'll have a lot of people that will say, I saw it on the model like this, saw it on the mannequin like this. But then they don't know how to reinvent that piece and wear it a different way. So my biggest advice is shop your wardrobe. Go in, pull out all the pieces you like. Take anything out that isn't serving you anymore. Just sell it. Get rid of it. Like if it doesn't have a purpose, it doesn't need to be there, because one of the most overwhelming things is walking into your wardrobe, seeing all these clothes and having that feeling of, I have nothing to wear, but I have all these clothes. So just declutter where you can, focus on the pieces that make you feel good. And what is it about that? Is it the silhouette? Is it the cut? Is it that it's cinched waist, or is it the colour? Identify those areas, and then you can start to build on, I say a capsule, but, you know, more building on a collection of pieces that work well, are versatile, can mix and match, can easily be layered. I think that is the key. That is the key to feeling confident in what you can wear, and having the confidence to say, I can put this and this together and feel good in what I'm wearing. So shop your wardrobe, girls.
I really need to do that.
Yeah, I think the decluttering part that Lauren was talking about.
It's hard to let go sometimes, but I think reselling is an amazing thing. Yeah. And you're just making space for new items that can serve a purpose.
I really need to start. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, well, the last couple of weeks anyway, because it gets to the point where I walk into my closet, I'm so overwhelmed. It's also not very organized, to be honest. And I have a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, I could wear it for like a special occasion. So I'm very guilty of this. Yeah. Like, I'll buy stuff for events or weddings, but then on the everyday, I'm like, I guess it's going to be jeans and this t-shirt. Yeah. You know, very millennial, jeans and a top.
Jeans and a top. Somebody actually asked me, what's your New Year's resolution? I thought, oh, wow. How long have we got? But to be honest, one of my personal ones is to not save outfits for special occasions, because I'm even guilty of it. I buy something and think, I'll save it for this.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, it's too good to wear for that. But why are we doing that? Like, wear your clothes, feel good in your clothes. If you really love something, just wear it.
I really want to have a party. Like, this has given me an idea.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
I want to have a party where we invite people with the stuff that they have nowhere to wear.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
That
That's
would
such
be
a good
so
idea.
fun. Also, you totally stole my idea. That was my idea first yesterday. She was like, I have an idea, because I said it.
Did you put it out there?
Yeah, maybe. I was like,
oh. But I was like, no, that would be so great.
Well, I love this idea. I think everyone will benefit from that.
It would be so fun.
Yeah.
I can finally wear my sequins, which is what I'm guilty of owning, like too many sequins. I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like, just hanging on to
It's
them.
embarrassing.
But that's the perfect example. Say you love sequins and you know that's what you love. Sequins and denim, such a cool look. Put an oversized bomber jacket with it. It's such a cool look. Like, there are ways to wear those items every day. You just have to find what works, and also have the confidence to do so, I think.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, wearing an outfit that makes you feel good, you know you can accomplish anything. I really believe that.
Yeah, it is. It's so true. And I feel like a lot of the time when, I guess, working with clients and things like that as well, like, do they often apologize for anything that's not fashion related?
Yeah, I feel like as women, we're all guilty of this. And I want to say that there is a lot of body positivity online, which is great. Like, when, I don't know if you watched the Victoria Beckham documentary, but when she talks about how, you know, she was scrutinised and things like that, it's wild that we lived in a world that was once how it was. And although there is body positivity, I do feel like we're all quite critical on how we look. And that's one thing that clients will say, oh, I just need to lose this weight, or I just need to do this, and I'm not quite where I want to be, which is really hard. And I've been guilty of it also. So I know, I've been in their shoes, but the clothes don't wear you. And you need to feel good in what you're wearing and what you're putting together. And I think when it comes to personal styling, that's such an important part of the job. Like, you're so intimate with these people, and they're letting you into their lives, into their wardrobes, especially celebrity, and you want them to go out feeling good. So I always try and be as positive as I can and let them know that it's fine. We all feel this way. Like, it's normal, but you don't have to. And one of my biggest tips I would give to anyone, and piece of advice that I take everywhere, is just never worry what the label says, because it doesn't matter if it's an 8, 10, 12, 14, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, because a lot of the time the brands can't even get their sizing to be consistent. So you'd go into H&M, pick up a pair of 10 jeans, go into Zara, they're going to fit totally different. So don't get caught up on those things, I think, is always really important. Wear what feels good.
Sizing is crazy though. Like, I feel like some brands make you seem smaller to make you feel better. Yeah. And I get that from a psychological perspective, but what a pain to shop that online.
Yeah. Brands definitely have strategies like that, which it doesn't help us. It gives us a complex.
Yeah.
It's so confusing, but that's why it is important, especially I think women always say about jeans, like trying to find a good pair of jeans is impossible. The length, the waist, everything. So sometimes it's just better just to go in, try everything on and get a feel for what you like and feel good in.
Yeah, I agree. I really think so. But speaking of like advice, we have some questions for you.
Yes. See what I can do.
So let's say you're in the I don't know what to wear dilemma, which is literally our favorite phrase. I don't know what to wear. I feel like Tutter the Mouse. Have you seen Bear in the Big Blue House?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tutter the Mouse has a meltdown where he doesn't know what to wear.
Yeah.
It's literally me. But I was going to ask, so if I'm in the case of I don't know what to wear, but you know I'm lying, and I know I'm lying, what would you advise me to piece together shopping my own wardrobe?
I think go to the items that you know you feel good in or comfortable in, because sometimes I don't know what to wear isn't just because you don't know what clothes to put on, it's how you're feeling. It could be that you're just not really wanting to get dressed up or you're nervous about an event. So what gives you confidence? Because that's a superpower. So for me, for instance, it would be a blazer, because I love tailoring. I could be wearing a tracksuit, put a blazer on, and I feel like, I'm put together, like structured. I've got this, boss bitch, let's go. So definitely find the items that make you feel good, make you feel confident, and then build around that item. It could be a pair of shoes. It could be that you think, I know I'm going to wear heels, or I've got this new bag. Dress the outfit around whatever the piece is that you love, because the likelihood is if you're wearing something you love, you're going to go out and feel good.
That's really great advice. I mean, clothes are so psychological. There is like that disconnect between like how you're feeling on the day versus what you own versus what you like, and it's just can be quite a conundrum in that way. But the way that they make you feel is life changing.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
important. I think, and like if you were going to go to an interview for a new job, first impressions count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no matter what anyone says, they do. And I think if you're going to walk in there and feel good, and that shows confidence.
From a social media perspective, because that often is overwhelming, how do you get people to tackle like how they then see their wardrobes because they're seeing all this noise online? Like, what do you pay attention to, and what is it that you should kind of ignore?
Yeah, I think it goes back to taking inspiration that really resonates with you and your lifestyle. I think that's really important. You have to, like I said, put an outfit on and think, where am I wearing this? Like, am I wearing it to a party? How many parties are you going to? So it has to be really relevant to your lifestyle. And with social media, the save button is a great tool, because you can just refer back to all your saved items and think, actually, I really like this aesthetic, this vibe, or it could be one item for that season that you keep going back to. So you know, actually, maybe I am going to invest in that piece because I keep seeing it and I keep liking it. I think it's just being really honest with yourself at, are you going to wear these pieces? And if not, then it's fine. Use the inspiration to maybe take that trend and put it into something else. There's still ways of following trends and following social media patterns without buying the exact product, So I think that tool on Instagram is a good one, actually. I use it all the time, so...
How do you feel about people dressing for social, though? Like people that basically are dressing for documenting it?
It's hard. I think this comes back to even being a buyer, you kind of see everything from a different point of view, because you've been at the beginning of that process. You know what brands are pushing. You know the strategy behind getting influencers to wear certain items. And I get it. it's a circle that everyone has to follow. You know, the brands need the influencers and vice versa. But yeah, it's hard. I think sometimes I can see a trend that I know is probably just a micro trend, very, very small, will be popular on Instagram for a minute. And then it's not that relatable, or it doesn't transfer well into everyone's wardrobe. So I think people are more mindful nowadays. But it's hard because I love Instagram and I love social media, and I love seeing the inspiration from influencers as well and how they would wear it. But maybe their lifestyle's totally different to the next person who's going to work a 9 to 5 and actually doesn't need to dress in that way. Mm-hmm. I think it's just knowing that it's inspiration, and that's okay, because obviously that's their jobs to put out content that inspires people, gets attention. I think it just has to be related back to your lifestyle and make sure that it works for you. It's hard because I kind of know the full story behind before it gets to that point. Yeah. You know, if you know a brand has bought X amount of product, they need to get rid of it. They need to sell it. Yeah. So I see that as well. You know, I know like they're really trying to push this line or this story that they have.
Yeah, for sure. Is there a styling rule that you feel exists purely because of social media? Like, do you think social media has created any of these styling rules?
That's a hard question for me to answer. I feel like you could even talk about like when we talk about capsule wardrobes. I think there was a few years ago, maybe around COVID, everyone would discuss, have a capsule wardrobe, you need a capsule wardrobe. But what is that to one person? Like, is that minimal, timeless, neutral? But if you actually wear colour and print, what's your capsule wardrobe? So I feel like it's social patterns, obviously. It's hard to not take notice of, but everyone is different. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Your personal style is different to my personal style. So there's not one rule for everyone. And I think it's just taking snippets from different people, different creators, different brands. And again, goes back to what works for you. But yeah, I'd say the capsule wardrobe was a buzzword for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We saw it a lot, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think also it's still carrying on, but it's carrying on in like an AI way.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I remember I saw something online and I was like, okay, this is quite interesting. And it was like a capsule wardrobe, and it'll like plan it for you depending on your size and your height and whatever. So I was like, okay, let's see what it comes up with. And I was like, it was just so overly basic and so like one in, one out. It felt firstly like very 2019, but also I was like, oh my God, this is AI. Yeah. Scary what AI can do.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I'm not scared it's going to take our jobs, because I think with clothing, it's such a feeling and you're creating a moment and it's so personal. I don't believe that that's something AI is honestly going to achieve. Like, especially, say you did a red carpet, you're creating a moment, not just for the client that's wearing that outfit, but for everyone else to appreciate and talk about. And there's so much that goes into it. The finished product you see is the iceberg, and there is so much to get to that point that I feel like AI just couldn't. No, it's a personality. It's a whole different personality. Well, hopefully not anyway, because I'll be very redundant.
What's your red carpet process?
To be honest, there's a whole thing that goes into red carpets or campaigns, anything that's big. And I think, like I said, you do just see the iceberg. For me, the inspiration part is probably the bit that takes the longest, trying to come up with ideas that don't feel saturated or that someone else might be doing at a similar time, obviously, because you're all influenced by factors that are at that moment. So yeah, the inspiration part is really important for me. Drawing out inspiration, making sure it suits the client you're dressing, but also to be relevant, I suppose. And even say you are working with celebrity, making sure it aligns with their values and brands they want to work with and how they want to be perceived is quite important. So there's a lot of, I think, psychology that goes into dressing someone for events. There's a lot of variables that are out of your control, DPD, DHL. But, you know, there are things that can happen that you just can't control. So I think being prepared and as much time as you can have on something like that is really important. And then when it comes to actually the dressing part, having the options for your client to make sure that that's a big moment for them. I'm sure that red carpet is a moment they want to, you know, really remember and the outfits are everything at these events. So having the options for them, having enough choice, and also you can push it a little bit. I feel like with carpets and campaign work, it's a different creative process for me, because when you're dressing someone for every day, you know, you have to be realistic in what they're wearing. But these moments are moments that can build something a bit more special, and you can really push it, and you can push their personalities. And I think that creative process is just totally different, which I really love. So I'm hoping for more of that to come.
I hope so too for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we love looking at all of your looks, like the red carpet looks that you do, as well as like your everyday pieces. I feel like you do have a language that goes through across everything. But if you were to describe that language in terms of your style that you have, how would you describe it to our viewers and listeners?
I do. I have signature style, and silhouettes and shape is definitely top of the list for me. That's really important. I just love structured pieces. I am quite minimal when it comes to colour. That's personally for me. If obviously there was a client that loved colour, then absolutely, you know, I love to work with it as well. But for me, I love tonal dressing, monochromatic outfits, head to toe, just looks sleek and elevated. But yeah, I think structure, tailoring is something I love. I am probably more masculine in terms of my personal style, and I love boxy, oversized fits that, you know, maybe you could mix with lace and it could feel a bit more feminine, but I love the juxtaposition of doing that sort of styling. So yeah, I think for me, tailored, structured and oversized would be the keywords in my personal style.
I love that. Well, Lauren, today's chat has gone so fast, but it's been amazing. But before you go, we have 3 quick-fire beauty questions we ask every guest. Are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
So what's one beauty rule you love breaking?
Okay, well, especially because I feel like the clean girl aesthetic for makeup is a thing. But blusher. I'm a blusher girl. Blusher blindness, and sorry, less is not more for me on that one.
Love that. If you could give your younger self one piece of beauty advice, what would it be?
Stop the DIY hair colouring. I've had some moments, I tell you. It's not been good. So I should listen to my mum. And not box dyed my hair.
Did you do box dye black?
I did red. I did Rihanna red for a long time.
Wow.
Actually, like more blondie, mousy brown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I went through it all. Yeah, red, purple, black, all the colours. Photo evidence of that.
I was like, one day I'm sure you'll find it and show it to us. What's a beauty moment, good or bad, that you'll never forget?
This is showing my age, but there was Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. Do you remember
Yep.
that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that, wild. I mean, hopefully that never comes back. But it was the concealer lips. So people used to use concealer as lipstick. This sounds so old, but concealer as lipstick and then put a gloss over the concealer, which is like there was no lip liner in that situation. And that I really hope that trend stays where it should be.
Fingers crossed for all of us.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to relive that again.
No. I'm good. Yeah.
But Lauren, thank you so much for this. It's just been such a thoughtful conversation, and we've learned so much about like what goes into styling and buying, as well as how to do it for yourself too.
Thank you. Hopefully some tips in there.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening, this is just a reminder that good style isn't about doing more. It's about understanding what works for you and letting go of the clutter in your wardrobe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap.